We're traveling to all 50 states with our kids and staying in the coolest, family-friendly short-term rentals we can find along the way. In North Dakota, we explored Theodore Roosevelt National Park before driving east across the entire state to Fargo. There, we checked into Milo's Place, a historic 2-bedroom home within walking distance of downtown Fargo. We saw Fargo's murals and spray paint alley and sat down for a German feast complete with North Dakota's famous Nefla soup. Now, with North Dakota in the rearview, it's time for our next adventure.
North Dakota, North Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota!
We just crossed the border into the state of Minnesota, which marks state number 9 on our family's big adventure of visiting all 50 states in about 5 months. This is my first time in Minnesota, so I'm really excited to see as much of the state as we can.
I grew up in Iowa, so I've been to Minnesota a lot, but it is a neat state, and I've never been to the part of the state that we're going to stay in a cool short-term rental tonight. Today's strategy is pretty easy because we were able to charge up to 100% thanks to the city of Fargo, North Dakota.
Thank you, Fargo.
We parked in a parking garage overnight, charged up, so we will make it to our destination without charging, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
I'm sure we're still going to have to make some stops.
Yeah, there's charging. Yeah, we will need
don't
to
have
make
to charge.
stops for kids. We don't have to charge. We'll see what we get into, but should be an easy day. A few hours of driving ahead, but nice sunny day again, so we're looking forward to it. There's many things that come up in a given day on our trip, but one of the things we've been dealing with over the last few days is the news from our inspector in Albuquerque that he is moving out of town. It's a good situation for him, but we are going to be sad to see him go. He's been a great helper for us the last year and a half.
What he was doing for us was inspecting the property before each guest arrives when it comes to short-term rentals. And he was also doing all of our wedding tours because the property also operates as a wedding venue. So we are not just looking for our typical inspector. It has to be someone who is also comfortable giving wedding tours.
We're not there and we can't get there. So that we kind of have a little trip plan going on. Makes it a little more complicated, and so we kind of put feelers out in some Facebook groups and some other people we know, and we actually connected to this woman through Ramel's brother, who knows some people in Albuquerque. So Kylie just got off the phone with her. Sounds like she's awesome.
Sounds like a really good fit. I really have a good feeling about this. And I just hired her on the spot, and we're just going to see how it goes. Ramel's going to meet her over there this week and show her the ropes, and I'm going to try and make her some sort of guide.
Yeah, we want to kind of have like standard operating procedures. Like Ramel's been around the house since we bought it. Yeah, since we bought it, and he's seen the whole transition when we furnished it and got it set up. So we didn't have to create anything for him, but it's nice that she asked for that. I mean, it shows that she wants to be accountable,
yes.
and that's what we need is someone that is attentive and going to be, the point of contact for making sure the place is always in a great state and guest-ready state. So hopefully we solved that problem today.
Something we've been stressing about behind the scenes because we didn't really know what was going to happen. Now that we have this lined up, we think we can both breathe a little easier.
A little easier, yeah. Glad we got that knocked out, and on to solving the next problem as we drive down the road here.
In beautiful Minnesota. On our drive through northern Minnesota, we read Mooka and Lou, a book our hosts in North Dakota gave us, written by Andrew's dad. Set in Minnesota's North Woods, it's a sweet story that follows cousins Mooka and Lou as they adventure alongside their animal friends. We're at Walmart picking up a set of sheets and a comforter, and we will tell you why later. We are in Wrenshall, Minnesota, almost to our short-term rental for this state. And the kids remember where we're staying here. They've been looking forward to it for a while. But we are on our way to Locally Laid Egg Company, and we're staying in one of their units called the Perch. Locally Laid Egg Company has 400 chickens on site, and we are going to be staying right in the middle of all of them. Vera, do you remember anything else from the listing?
LoLa.
One of them is named LoLa?
All of them named LoLa. Then look at the horse.
In Wrenshall, Minnesota, we visited Locally Laid Egg Company, a pasture-raised egg operation and berry farm that also offers unique accommodations they call their AirDNA. We stayed in the Perch, a stilted tiny home with a lofted bedroom plus an overflow bunkhouse. It was surprisingly spacious and thoughtfully designed, with an open living space and big windows overlooking the farmland.
Mom, look! Whoa! Lot of LoLas! There's a lot of LoLas! Also, one of the chickens escaped. A lot of LoLas.
We still have a couple of pork steaks from our trip to Hymas Family Farms in Idaho, so we are going to cook those up outside and have a little dinner here at the Perch. Guests staying at Locally Laid are invited to join in on the day's chicken chores if they'd like, collecting eggs, refilling feeders and water, or whatever else is on the agenda that day. The farm is home to around 400 chickens, all nearly identical and all named LoLa, short for Locally Laid. It's a hands-on glimpse into life on a chicken farm, and we found ourselves laughing through all of the chores, especially during what the kids called the chicken stampede. This breed is especially social and curious, following us everywhere we walked, a total contrast to the chickens we'd met in other states who wanted nothing to do with us.
From the Perch. Here they have a full-size bed upstairs and a full-size futon downstairs, but when they sent the check-in instructions, they also offered their bunkhouse, which has a full-size bed and then a twin bed above it. But we looked at that listing and it said it didn't come with any bedding. So on the way in here, we bought some sheets, but then when we got here, there was bedding for the bunkhouse, so we were all set. Nash and I slept out there and had a great night's sleep. It is time to go over our Minnesota bucket list, and we've actually already crossed off 2 things on this list, which are to sleep on a chicken farm and to do some chicken chores, which we've completed both, and now we're on our way into Duluth.
So in Duluth, we're hoping to knock off the last 3 items on our bucket list, which are to try a local food, to visit one of the Great Lakes, and the kids added this one, to pet a jellyfish. So we'll see if we can make that happen. Smoked fish is a Minnesota staple, so we stopped into Northern Waters Smokehouse in Duluth to gather some picnic supplies. It's part deli, part fast casual restaurant, and they're serving up a creative selection of smoked fish and smoked meat sandwiches.
just picked up our order from Northern Water Smokehouse, and one of our bucket list items from Minnesota is to try local food. So we got a smoked salmon from the deli and one of their summer sticks, which is elk, the beef stick, elk stick. So we're gonna try that. Kids got some sandwiches, and we're gonna sit here and see if maybe this raising bridge goes up if the ship comes by.
When Duluth's aerial bridge opened in 1905, it wasn't a lift at all. It used a suspended gondola car that carried wagons, early cars, and pedestrians across the canal. In 1930, the gondola was replaced with today's vertical lift span, which now raises whenever freighters or sailboats need to move between Lake Superior and the harbor.
Just left the aerial lift bridge area of Duluth, and it was really cool. We hung out there and ate our lunch, but we realized that there was a lot of people kind of accumulating, and when we looked it up, there was a big ship coming through the lift bridge, and so we waited a little bit for that, and it was really neat to see this big 680-foot ship that was carrying a load of limestone came under the lift bridge, so we got to see the whole process, them lifting the bridge and the boat going under, and pretty cool to see.
Our original plan was to go on this waterfront tour boat that rode around Lake Superior and we could see Duluth from the shoreline, but we didn't make our plans until the very last minute, and then they were sold out and we couldn't go on the boat. But it ended up working out well, because if we did go on the boat, we wouldn't have been able to see the bridge lifting up, and we all thought that was really cool, so everything worked out anyways.
There was also a lot of fog holding just off the shoreline, and so we probably wouldn't have seen a whole lot either on the boat because of the fog. So this all worked out pretty well in the end.
We have one more stop to make before we leave Duluth. The Great Lakes Aquarium in Duluth is one of the only freshwater-focused aquariums in the country, with exhibits on Lake Superior, local rivers, and even geological features, which was a hit with Nash, who loves all things rocks, magnets, and gemstones. The kids also enjoyed the touch pools and other interactive exhibits, especially the water stations that demonstrate how canal locks work around the Great Lakes, turning learning into play. We had a fun afternoon in Duluth, and now we are back at the Perch getting ready for dinner. The boys are outside playing with the chickens, and Vera and I are in here just prepping a very simple dinner with stuff that we already had in our cooler in our pantry box. So we're just doing pasta, some hot pork sausage, and sauce that we made this summer and canned from our garden tomatoes. Small kitchen here, but it has everything we need. There's a hot plate and some pots and pans. And the best part is that we don't have to do any dishes. We just put all the dishes in the dish fairy bin when we're done, bring them over to the main house, and then they are magically returned to us clean and ready to use again. The chickens at Locally Laid are pasture-raised, with their pens regularly rotated around the farm to keep the land healthy. This morning, Brett invited Nash to help prepare a new spot and move the fencing. He was so patient and welcoming with the kids, and we know it's an experience that they won't forget. It is time to say goodbye to all of the LoLas here at Locally Laid and the Perch. We had a nice time.
We had a great time. It was a really comfortable stay. They've got a nice little cabin there and the bunkhouse worked perfectly for us. And it's cool that we got to see a different chicken operation than some of the other ones where they only had very few chickens. They have 400 here, so it's still pretty small, but it is cool to get to do the chicken chores and get pecked at a little bit. Great breakfast with the fresh eggs, and now we're ready to head on to the next spot.
If you'd like to come stay here at Locally Laid, we will leave all of the details down in the description box. Bye, Lola.
See you, chicken.
We are almost to the border of our next state, which means it's time for us to say goodbye to Minnesota.
Bye, Lolas.
And the Lolas.
We had a great stay. Minnesota, it's a cool place. Nice to see this northern part of the state. Weather was great. Got to explore Duluth, stay on the chicken farm, and now it's time for the next spot.
Nash, what was your favorite part of the state of Minnesota?
Seeing the butterflies.
What about you, Vera? What was your favorite part of Minnesota?
Aquarium.
Minnesota, Minnesota, Minnesota.